I'm out today just to give you a quick rundown of my project, the sort of things that interest me, some of my inspirations, and a couple of the hacks and the experiments that I've been up to recently. I believe that design should be opportunistic and make the most of any resource. I'm inspired by the idea that we have all of the resources we need in circulation, and possibly just not the knowledge or the impetus to use them. In this project, I'm exploring potential uses for contaminated woods which currently can't be recycled. These woods currently are being chipped and either sent to landfill or get burnt for their energy, which releases the carbon which would otherwise remain captured. Another project that's inspired me is the Brighton and Hove wood recycling. I've spoken with them there and learnt that they have to send about 20% of their collections to be chipped because it's too contaminated and not usable. For larger operations that aren't so concerned with reuse, they send a much higher percentage to be chipped. The how might we's I was considering before my hack were things like, how might we use contaminated woods before they're chipped? How might we use wood contaminants? How might we use the materials that result from the chipping process? And how might we add usefulness and value to woods that are considered contaminated? As contaminants like woodworm and rot weaken wood and lower the density, I've been inspired to try and reinstate structure and strength by using novel processes such as glass wood, where low density woods are made clear and strong by using bleach and PVA, faux fossilization to make a type of petrified wood, and crystallization like the work of Alice Potts. Often these processes require specific lab conditions and a recipe, but I've been experimenting with a more DIY approach. I've collected some wood that featured woodworm and rot. I've had some interesting results trying to make them translucent with bleach. In my research, I often found examples of contaminated woods being turned into decoration by submerging them in epoxy resins. I'm really not a fan of this. I think it's a complete waste of both the wood and the epoxy. They can't be separated, and it doesn't really fit with my personal position of making the best of any material. However, as it came up so often, I decided that I should give it a go to at least understand the process and to see what the hype was about, and then to see if my personal opinion stands up. The process did produce some interesting artifacts, but I don't think epoxy is the right material for me. I've been inspired to find some natural alternatives like pine resins, and I plan to experiment with those in the future. Going forward, I want to get hold of some other types of contaminated woods, possibly things with screws or nails or some of the adhesives attached to them. I'd also like to get hold of the material that results from the chipping process, so the chipped up woods. I think it would be interesting to see how that can be combined with something else to make a workable material.